Well, welcome back, folks. Hopefully you can hear me okay, because the wind has picked up and it is smacking us right in the face. But today is the day. Today is the first day of the Welsh Open Pairs Festival. We've been to the sailing club this morning. We've drawn our cards. So we picked our peg number 33, which is on Pwllheli Beach. And as you can see, there's plenty of other anglers about. 47 pairs in total have entered. So what's that? 94 anglers. So yeah, good turnout, good turnout. Should be a good crack. Anyway, like I say, wind's picked up, sea's picking up, sea's building. So yesterday it was glassy flat, so it might have changed a few people's tactics. I did have a tactic yesterday, but I've changed mine. Never fished here before, ever, so no idea what it's going to do. I believe black bream will probably be the #1 contender for today. And then a lot of people have been saying that they're going to be fishing for the bream with size 6, size 8 hooks, stuff like that, which is borderline carp angling, which, as you'll know, I don't do. So I think the smallest hooks we've got today is size 4s. I'll run you through the tackle really quickly. Achios Fury FX 420 for me. And then the big change today is one of the competition rules states no braid. So, as you'll know, I fish with braid. So today I'm using my dad's Fury FX8, which is loaded with 18-pound Yuki line and a 60-pound Asso shock leader. My dad's rod of choice for the day is the Achios Hellraiser. And again, same reel setup, so Achios Fury FX8, 20-pound, Yuki line, 60-pound Asso shock leader.
There's a sexy pair of rods if ever.
On the business end, I'm going to fish with a pulley dropper, one of Mike's rigs. On there, I'm fishing a 4.0 wide mouth, that one is, and a 3.0 circle hook. I think that's a Cox and Roll circle hook. 6-ounce lead, and then my dad, 7-ounce lead. And we've got 2-hook clipped flappy rigs, and on there we're just fishing size 1.0s. So it'll be a range of tactics today. I am going to get a couple more rigs out as we go, but the time now is 1:45. Fishing kicks off at 1. Fishing 1 through till 6. High tide today is at about 5:30, I think. So we'll be fishing up and over high water. I'm going to start off with a squid bait. Dad's going to start off with the worm baits on the flapper rigs, and we're just going to see how it goes, and we'll see what picks up what, where, when, range of different casting lengths. I'm sure there's a lot of big names out on this beach today, so I'm sure we'll see some big casting from people. However, when I was walking the dogs on the beach the other day, admittedly it was glassy flat, but there were fish jumping about 20 or 30 yards out, so hopefully bass, bream close in, small hooks, flapper rigs, worm baits will pick them up. And I'm going to go for the pulley pennel rig, or the pulley dropper rig, and target different species, maybe a nice bass, but dogfish. I never thought I'd say this, but today dogfish are probably going to be my target. I know a lot of you are going to be sat at home thinking, dogfish are your target, what are you talking about? Well, the rules state mackerel, herring and lawns can't be measured. The competition is an overall length competition, that's the target. Dogfish automatically, regardless of the size, count for 50 centimetres. So obviously 3 dogfish, you're at 1.5 metres already, whereas you're going to take, what, 15 bream? Maybe not 15, but 7 or 8 bream, good sized bream to get to that sort of length. So targeting dogfish today, in my eyes, is not a bad tactic. Baits that we've got today, we've got live ragworm, we've got fresh lug, we've got pack of squid, pack of sand eel, mackerel, and we'll just keep mixing them up and see how we go. Oh, I'm at that 1 o'clock. It's that awkward moment where nobody wants to be the first person to cast. Yeah, yeah. I'm happy. How's he going? See how far he sends it. Oh, sound. Straight to the top of me. That's gone 10 yards. Tell you, that wind is going to be a nightmare today. But we're in the water, we're set up and we are fishing. Oh yeah, this will make a few of you laugh. Dad fishes, in my opinion, keggy handed. I know a lot of you have commented, but I cannot and will not beach cast that way. I had a couple of practice casts earlier and let's just say my arm was on fire and it felt dead weird, so feel free to blow the comments up, but right-handed, I reel with my right hand. Squiddles next. So I've got 2 rigs out now, so I've got a 3-hook flapper rig that Mike's made me up with 1/0 circle hooks. I've got that out there at the minute with fresh worm on, and I'm just going to prepare this pulley panel rig ready for the next chuck out, just with a whole squid tube on. So far, hopefully you can hear me all right with the wind, but so far it's been fairly quiet. I've seen the lads a couple of rods down, I've had 2 tiny bass, and the lads next door have had small black bream, so hence the small 3-hook flapper rig with the small circle hooks. Got that out after the smaller stuff. Oh, that's just lost me, my buddy. That's it.
Do you want me to move this back a bit?
Yeah, I can do. Ready for a refill on this, I think. I'll bring you back when I've sorted this. Bit of a faff. Right, we're back. Lash this up. Got that rod straight up into the sun. Blind. I'm legally blind. Nah. Circle up through the top. Pull that down, hang that on there, and that is ready to go for the next one. Well, I thought I'd take a second out just to come and talk to you. We've been fishing for about an hour now, and it's been non-stop. Unfortunately no bites, the weed is an absolute nightmare. Let me just show you what we've picked off on the last cast. So yeah, weeds are a pain in the arse. I'm not managing to keep lines out for more than 5 or 10 minutes. Rebaiting, we've got 4 rigs in circulation, so we've both got one out, we're both rebaiting the others, and it just seems like we're constantly casting at the minute, but that's competitions fishing, I guess. Yeah, I've had the Akios lads come past, reports of a couple of doggies for a few folk up the beach. There's plenty of bream knocking about further up the beach as well, and then I think further down that way there's garfish as well coming out, so obviously people are well into some of the lengths at the minute. So we just need to find some fish. I think tomorrow, the plan for tomorrow might be try and get hold of some smaller hooks. I did try this morning when people were talking about size 6s and size 8s. I'll bring you back. So I had to disappear then. Next to us just had a small flounder, 19 centimetres. So they've had a 23 centimetre black bream and a 19 centimetre flounder, so what's that making, 42 centimetres ahead of us. They were saying that the lads next door are catching, they've had 11 fish so far and they are only chucking about 20 yards in, so right into where all this grotty weed and stuff is, just out there in the surf. But yeah, so that might be the next option. Anyway, I'm going to go get my next rig baited up, and hopefully I'll talk to you in a bit. So this at the minute, I've got 3 3-hook flapper with size 10 circle hooks, and I've just got tiny little strips of mackerel on. I do seem to be having little pecks. I'll have to have a route through my box in a minute, see if I've got anything at all with smaller hooks on. Let's go and have a look, see what we've got. I'll leave that out there for a minute.
Some bigger hooks.
I've got bigger hooks though, and they're not doing out. Alright, let's get in here. So these are 3/0 or the 1/0 circle hooks, crab hooks. There's a mix in there. That one you might be able to see a bit better if I put it in the shade. But let's have a quick look in here, because I'm pretty sure at the back of here I've got some proper old, and I mean old, there we go, what are those, wishbone rigs. I thought I had some old, there we go, those will do, bream rigs from the rig shack, bought years ago, never done much with. And then I've got a flatty rig there with some size 4s on as well. So let's sting these on, shall we? Let's just slice this down the middle. Can't remember if I've turned the GoPro off or not, but there it goes, 2 finger-sized squid strips. Do just thread them on like so. Pull that one up so it sits just above the hook like that. Same with this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, and pull that first one just above the hook so it stays up. And there we have it. Apologies guys if the wind noise is bad. I have got the cover on the mic, but whether it's actually doing anything or not in this weather, it's doubtful. And I'm going to press the button now on the GoPro to see if this is actually recording or not. Time for a change and we'll get that rig on. Oh, and this is what we're dealing with the whole time. Weed, 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 weed. Oh. This mono's really singing a merry dance out today. Not fished with mono for ages. Oh, they've got another little flounder. Right, that is the end of casting at distance for me. I'm not messing about with that lot anymore. Right, yeah. Weed off the end of here, like so. Yeah. That. Just drop it. And clip that. Clip this one on. And I'm going to put this one in crazy close. So I'm literally going to go with these little squid flaps. There, that's it. No more than that. Let's try that. See what happens. Set down there. Alright, let's get this rig clipped up out of the way. Yeah, but you've just seen how much weed comes in when I cast far. So I'm just going to try keeping it in close, like real close for a minute.
Yeah.
look away, folks. So I know a few of you gave me shit. In fact, I tell you what, yeah, just to keep people happy, and do it on top of here instead. So I'm gonna go there. Just make it into cubes for the next cast, I think. Little mackerel cubes. Let's dart that off, get rid of that. Don't know if you'll be able to see in the GoPro, but I've already got weed on the end of my line that's just banging around in the surf. And now I've got weed on a rod, on a line that's not even in the water. Right, let's move back a bit. I think the lads in the blue just up here are on about 12 fish now. Lads next to us as well. They just had that other little flounder, so they're on, what's that, 3, 4? 2 hours in. Got some support showed up, look. Looks well happy to be out here in all this wind. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Wants to be back in bed. Hey? Blowing his bloody socks off.
Picking up.
Blown his shoes off.
Where you
Can't
going?
see now, can you? Hello. Eat it up.
Huh?
Eat it up.
Yeah. I bet it. Guy looks well happy.
Oh yeah.
Pull it down a bit. Got to get the advertising in there. Yeah, 2 hours in and still nothing. The weed is slowly starting to die off. I don't know if that's just because we're fishing closer in. So I think I'm probably going to put out the big pulley pennel again next and go for some distance, because so far I've seen small fish coming out. The lads down, a couple of rods down, are still catching tiny little bass. So if I can put a big pennel out, get it whole bottom with a couple of sand eels lashed on, you never know, might get into a decent bass. Or even a doggy, like I say, I'd take a doggy. Alright, well, all else seems to be failing, so I'm going for it. Let's give this a go, because why not? It's just one thing, another thing that we haven't tried so far today. So I'm going to pin this as far as I possibly can out into some deep water and see if we can't at least get us a doggy. See how long the weed takes to pull my line over. .7-ounce lead. Right, your line's all the way over there, so I'm going to cast that way this time. All the way down there towards that buoy. It's there, look. I'm sure the drag's on. Right, let's see just how far we can get this with this bloody wind. Oh, it's come off. Well, come unstuck, but it's out there. It is out there. Let's wait and see what happens. Wind's finally got to me. Hoodie's gone on. 2 hours left now of the competition. Still nothing doing for us. I've given up on the numbers game, so I've retired the smaller hooks. Although it would be nice to get off the blank, I think the only way to save today is get a couple of doggies under a belt, maybe a nice bass. I mean, that surf is now picking up even more. So it's getting fairly choppy out there. So the pulley dropper is back on for me. I've sent that out at distance. I sent it out a minute ago with the mackerel head on. That came back untouched, but it also came back with very little weed on it. So I've sent out that pulley dropper again now with 3 sand eels strapped to it, and I've sent that as far as I can against this wind. Still got some ragworm left, still got some lugworm left, so squid and lugworm might be a good bait to put out in a minute. That could be my next combo, I think. But yeah, I'm targeting bass and dogfish now. Dad's got us off the mark.
If I can get a hold of it.
There we go. Nice little eel. It's 30 centimetres in the bag. Here's your scorecard. Go and get it, mate. I signed up. There we have it then. The end of a very hard day's fishing, it has to be said. Just come out for an hour with the boys on the beach. As you can probably hear, it's fairly well sheltered over here. The problem is, tomorrow it's not this side of the beach that we're going to be fishing. It's that side over there. As you can see, there's some decent whitecaps over there. Yeah, we chucked everything at it today, and yeah, the end fish to show for today's efforts was that green eel in my dad's. So it scored us 30 centimetres. From the sounds of it, Pwllheli Beach, where we were today, fished better overall than Aberech, where we're going tomorrow, which is bad news for us, but all is not lost and I'm not giving up just yet. So I've seen a few things, I've heard a few things, and I've spoke to a few people, and I've learned quite a bit today. But there we are, we finally found it, peg 23, the first peg of the Aberech beach. Pegs are heading that way, so another 22 pegs going that way about every 100 yards. As you can see, and if I move my hand probably here, the wind is slapping your face over here. Well, that wind's already turned slightly, even back over here near the sailing club. We're not in the shelter as much, and it's picking up quite a bit as well. But having spoke to quite a few people today, watch what other people are doing, I've learned a lot, which is what fishing's about really. And yeah, I've got some ideas for tomorrow which hopefully will put me and Dad back in the running, or at least put us back in the game. I'm no competition angler, but today I received this text from Mike, who makes the rigs for me. I'm also not one to turn down a challenge, so next weekend it sounds like me and Shane, aka the Holderness Codfather, we'll be battling it out over on the Holderness coast somewhere. The rules for that session Mike has set out is he's going to provide us each with the same 5 rigs, he's going to provide us each with the same pack of bait, and he's going to pick the venue as well. So we're not sure where we're going to be fishing until he texts us and tells us. That's a good one to look forward to. I'm looking forward to that. Like I say, no competition angler, but I'm always up for a challenge. I saw Shane put out a video earlier calling this the battle for King of the Coast. Well, I'm not being funny, Shane, but you've already given yourself the name, the Holderness Codfather. I can't let you name yourself the King of the Coast as well. So I seriously need to up my game for next week. We're just walking back into the sailing club now. It's a good old walk all the way over there. That's where we've been. And I'll tell you what, if Dad was going to moan about me being taskmaster today, he's going to moan about the amount of walking he has to do to get to the marks tomorrow. Let's just hope we get a peg closer to 23 than we do to 0. So on that note, next week's video will be day 2 of the Welsh Open Pairs Festival. The week after that will be me versus the Holderness Codfather over on the Holderness coast. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Hopefully next week's video has got a lot more fish in it. And until next time, take care of yourselves and tight lines.